welcome back, guys. It has been a minute. Sorry, been busy. Um, I plan on coming on starting doing videos again, and I'm trying to something with it with the setup because I was sick and tired of being sitting all the time when I record the video. So rather be standing. Anyway, it's a test. Let's see how it goes. So today, I wanted to talk about something that Garant Tam, Mike Jones, um, said the other day in a video he made about um, Milton West and Airsoft. Spoiler alert, I agree with him about 95%. Okay? He basically says that Airsoft a good training tool, but they're not like the real thing. Absolutely fucking agree. Don't get me wrong. Train, train with actual rifle, handguns, weapons, real things will teach you how to, manage recoil, how to shoot accurately, whatever, and the whole 9 yard, right? That being said, I think um, for what concern like home defense and self-defense, that kind of stuff, airsoft are amazing tool. They're stupidly cheap because they're toys, they're safe, and anybody can use them without, killing somebody. And and they're and they are easy available even in countries like Italy, for example, or England and UK, not UK, Germany, wherever you go, even fucking Japan, which is one of the most restrictive laws about weapons of the country where I ever lived. Japan has the most restricted. Software are still available, right? So it can, and T-Rex, I remember a couple of years ago, made a video about it, the transition from airsoft to real guns. And I've been preaching about this since the fucking 90s, but nobody listened back then because what do you need a toy for? Anyway, my point is, sure, airsoft are toys, but so is this. This is a fucking rubber knife. It's a toy. It's not gonna kill. It might be painful if pointing, but it's not gonna kill anyone, right? This is meant for training. So you train without killing somebody. Same things with airsoft. Let me demonstrate. This is the first airsoft I bought. I bought this in the early 90s. Probably one of the first gas blowback operated airsoft on the market. I mean, I had this since I was 12 or 13 or something. And that taught me Yugoslavia was still a thing at the time. That's how old I am. Anyway. Yeah, I think Clinton was just president. Anyway, but this toy taught me how to manipulate an M9. Skill will become very helpful later on in life. But it's a 192F. You know what I mean. So these toys, they can teach you everything you need to know about handling a firearm without killing someone if you do a mistake. If you do a mistake, you shoot yourself in the leg with a BB. Who gives a shit? It's painful, yes. Is annoying, yes. You feel stupid, also yes. It's hard to do real damage unless you shoot yourself in the eye. Huh? That was intentional to prove the point. So this can teach you how to manipulate like a real thing, and not just that, but even the takedown, it works exactly like the real thing, and most of the internal components are pretty much the same, Now I'm not gonna fucking dismantle everything, I don't care. But just to put the point, it can teach you all you need to know about that specific thing that you want without spending an arm and a leg. I mean, even easily a 92 like this cost almost a grand. So they cost what, 100, 150 bucks. Gives a shit, right? One, two. As everyone that knows that went from the M9 to a Glock, for example, as a handgun, know the pain of having to get used to adjusting your wrist to 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 transition from M9 Glock. You know the pain. Another soft there, my favorite. This helped me get used to the different angle and also the slight difference way of having a proper grip with a Glock compared to a Beretta, right? If you transition from the two, you know what I'm talking about, right? And again, it taught me how to operate a Glock, how to get used to the trigger safe from Glock. Sure, it's a toy. It's not exactly the trigger is shit even compared to a real Glock, which is surprising. But it's a tool. You if you're dedicated to it, you get out of that tool as much experience as you want or can before you invest 6, 7, 800, 900, 2,000, 3,000. How much is fucking easy for one if you go Gucci on a real handgun without knowing is that gonna be comfortable? No, no two handguns are equal. Okay, people might like, for example, I don't know, fucking Desert Eagle, right? But once you have that massive chunk of steel in your hand, you realize, yeah, it looks cool, but it's a piece of shit. Same things for, I don't know, my father-in-law had a 357 Magnum called Python. In theory, it was a beautiful 7 inches, beautiful gun. I would have never got caught. I mean, better than fucking nothing, sure, but it wouldn't be my first thought when I'm thinking about buying a proper handgun for self-defense. Neither was his fucking PPK Walter. Good gun again, but not a good fit for self-defense. And I was lucky I could try them because he had them before I even thought about buying one. So I was like, nah, fuck that. But with software, you can do that with a minimum amount of money. You can invest 150, 200, whatever the fuck it is, to get a proper replica. And then it's like, no, don't like it, don't feel comfortable, with the Glock, don't feel comfortable with whatever it is, a shield or revolver, whatever. Before you invest on the proper thing, because remember, a toy, if tomorrow I get tired of this, I dismantle, goes in the bin. I lose money, who gives a shit, right? With a handgun, if you don't like it, you get bored, you have to sell it back. I can't argue about legality of how these things work for different countries because I don't know and I don't care. It's a pain in the ass. However you see it, it's gonna be a pain in the ass, right? Even places like Arizona, where it's relatively easy, just go back, sell it at the shop and whatever, or through the shop or whatever. you still have to go through the process. With a toy, who gives a shit? Right? And not just for handguns, that apply to rifles as well. RWM4, these two has been with me since 1999, something like that. And yes, it's a toy, it's a replica, but it can teach you all the things you need to do and get the reps in for how to handle a proper AR. You know, low ready, high ready, how to handle a fucking sling, reloads, the chamber, use the safe, you know, the whole process of things that you will need time to get used to it anyway, but at least you can do it without risk-free, really. And again, for a fraction of the price. Something like this costs less than 200. So who cares? And not just that, not just not just the weapon itself, but for example, from a Glock, I tried to with a Chinese Surefire for the light, and I realized it's fucking annoying. It's a pain in the ass to have it at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock. It's a pain in the fucking ass. You need a proper holster for the light, for the Glock, and no, it's not for me. I live in a city. I will never go in an area where I cannot see and I need a fucking flashlight. And if I really do, I'd rather have this 511, I know, me, than something that is with my gun. And who was it? Warrior Poet was John that said, I don't want to point my gun at something if I have to light it up. I mean, shoot it up, light, or you get what I mean. So, I mean, I live in a city. My circumstances dictate that I don't need a fucking light on my gun. Sue me, right? And that I know this after thinking about with a Glock for a while, with a toy for a while. Also, you can go and try with even cheaper. This is one of those spring bullshit. It's rubbish, but has the exact same size of a 26, which is my favorite carry gun. Was before I got used to the 19. But that helps you with, this was like $15, something like that, some bullshit like that. You can get used to, oh, you can see, oh, it's $15. And can see, is it comfortable for my hands? Is it? It's about money. Let's face it. Nobody likes to waste money. And these toys are perfect for that. Same thing, another spring block, 17. I hate the fucking 17. It's too big. It's too. Same reason I don't like the 19X or 43, I think. No, 45. It's called now. Anyway, the problem is not here. The problem is here. Too big. It prints. I'm 6 foot, 190 pounds, 20 pounds, something like that. I don't remember. So this should be relatively easy to carry at 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, but it isn't. 19 is better. I tried. All this cost me half of what a real Glock would cost me. And if it broke, if it doesn't work, I don't like it, can be in it, I wasted 50 quid, who gives a shit? Okay. Or if you want to go into the more tactical things Hold on. Okay. This can teach you how to manipulate with laser, control for laser, torch. I need to fix this. I know. Like me. Okay. And how to get used to shooting through a hollow or with a red dot. And yes, they're not real thing, but a fucking light is a fucking light. Okay? A laser is a fucking laser. The manipulation is the important part. I don't expect this shit to hold zero or anything or be used to for the real thing. These are tools for training. For me, this and this are exactly the same fucking thing. It's a toy that I use for worst case scenario. But it's not just that. There's everything goes around the airsoft world. You can get used to. You can play with it however you feel like. You can have, red dot or holo. You can go LVPOs. You can use what. Yes, they're useless for airsoft. Blah blah blah. Give me a fucking break. But you can get used to what you need for your real weapon for a fraction. I mean, the whole shebang cost me, the whole rifle cost me less than a real surefire rifle, than a X800, X700, whatever. It's not 500. Whatever it is, that light clone. The real light costs more than the whole setup. And I know I'm comfortable with it. Yes. Can now invest real money to buy to assemble a real Mark 18 Mod 0? Also yes, because now I know that rifle is good for me and for what I need it for. I know that 10 3-inches plus can would be perfect for what I need. Then again, cans are absolutely illegal in my country. Welcome to Italy. Anyway, but I tried with a 14 inches with a standard M4, and it was a bit too long. So with the 10.3, it works just fine. So my point about this video is airsoft are toys, yes. They're not the real thing, yes. Are also safer, undoubtedly. They allow you to train in absolute safety. Nothing is safe 100% of the time, not even taking a shower, so don't quote me on that, but they allow you to train safely without risking of hurting someone or destroying something you think is valuable. So go airsoft, I guess. In the meantime, small addendum. Another thing that obviously the software allow you to do, it's not just holster. I mean, you can use Kydex holster or nylon. You can this thing horrible apparently something my army loves for whatever reason. Anyway, so you can also play with this at a fraction of a cost before you go and spend 60, 70, 80, how much the fucking need for the proper holster for your handy. It's important. Do I want a normal holster? Do I want 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock with sidecar? What? We all know that you dress around your handgun, not the other way around. So what's comfortable, what clothes I use. For example, jeans. Well, I use stretchy jeans because they cost me. Buy them at Primark is not 5.11 or any of that bullshit. They're jeans. They have to be comfortable. Cost them $20. Fuck that. That's fine. Another thing, very important, one of the most important things about rifles, is slings. So, yes, you can either go with Vickers, because it's the best. Sorry, everybody else. Or you can go with the Chinese clones of our favorites. Magpul, Ferro Concept, my second favorite. It's just the same thing. It's literally the same fucking thing. Or this Frankenstein, which is I assemble with tapes and shit. I copied GBRS second best link. So I allow you to try what works for you at a fraction before you actually go and spend money on something that maybe turn out to be fucking useless for you. I had this Vicker for quite a while. This is all banged up and shit. And if I have to go to war, this is gonna be used. That is probably what I will be using. But this is me. It's my taste. You do what you want. So you can try other brands which work exactly, essentially the same way of the real thing, but allow you to learn which system works for you to manipulate your sling. This is more a problem for us in Europe because imported goods cost a fucking leg. For example, you have to pay, what is it, 27% of the price for import taxes, and then you have the shipment itself, which usually goes around the same price. So if I buy, let's say I buy a sling for $100, which is expensive, sure, but we've seen worse. I will end up paying 150 or more just for shipment and taxes. Why? We don't like taxes. So you can get for less than 20 quid, 15 quids, a Chinese knockoff. Try, see if you like the way it operates. Again, save money somehow. Yeah. And see which way of this is as a one point sling, obviously, but and see which system of locking and sliding locking mechanism you prefer for yourself. What type of attachment points you prefer. For example, I hate fucking QD point. I fucking hate them. The HK thingy clamps, I guess, is the way to go for me. Sure, I use You can get creative. I use a QD attachment here to turn into 1 point. Works fabulously. Works great. Don't care. And if I have to remove it, it's done. I and you could. I took one an old Magnus Aero Concept one, cannibalized it, cut it up, put it back the way the second best sling is, and test it. Now I know, yes, I can spend $70 or whatever, $50, I think it's $50 on the real thing. Why? Because I tried first. Again, for the US, this concept I assume is gonna be a bit strange. But for us in Europe, if you want to buy proper high-end gun parts, or let's say parts for everything goes around a handgun, magazine, optics, slings, clothes, even because even cry precision costs an arm and a leg by itself. You can imagine once you have to pay import taxes and the euro and blah blah blah. So you can, thanks to airsoft and the market around the whole business around airsoft, you can try things at a fraction of the price before moving into the buying high-end, actually usable items. That's all I'm saying. Of course, for as good looking as this looks, it's not a real rifle. It doesn't weight like a real rifle. It doesn't recoil of a real rifle, although real 5.56 is not exactly a heavy recoil anyway. But this is not a real laser, whatever. This is not a proper light, but it's good enough for training. And who was it? Mike Glover said too much light is sometimes too much light is too much. So maybe this is enough lumen. I don't know. I don't care. It's a training tool. It's the same thing as that knife. It's a toy. I have no expectation of this being a weapon by any stretch of imagination. No more than a spoon, a teaspoon is more of a weapon than this shit. So, unless you're ridiculous. Who knows? Who knows? They're tools. They are as good as you make them, because you need a tool for a purpose. You cannot use a Phillips screwdriver as a soldering gun, right? You need to use a proper tool for a proper job. Same things. Airsoft are toys that allow you to get used to a certain degree to a real weapon. That's all they are. And that's all I'm saying. Go back to the original video. Until you also, another problem, for example, in Italy, we don't have the training facilities you have in the US. Europe, one of the few places that have a decent training ground is in goddamn Serbia, or in Serbia, in Czech Republic, Poland. That's it, I think. For civilian, I'm talking about civilian market, not military, of course. somehow, though, I guess there has to be said. So going to these places, doing these courses is extremely expensive for the European market. So this can help you get, again, the reps in, how to learn how to manipulate, how to, what to do and what not to do without killing anybody. That sounds like a plus to me. And that's it. Go Airsoft. See you later, guys.